Hello, fellow teacher. Did you know that in your classroom, you have students with different learning styles and preferences? To ensure learning happens at the same pace for all, you are encouraged to apply Universal Design for Learning, UDL. UDL is a teaching approach designed to optimize learning by using flexible methods, materials, and assessments to accommodate different learning needs for all students in the classroom. UDL is mediated in 3 principles, namely multiple means of representation, multiple means of engagement, and multiple means of action and expression. Multiple means of representation. To apply this principle, you are expected to create an inclusive and engaging learning environment by using diverse instructional methods, including visual, auditory, text-based materials, assessive technologies, hands-on activities, peer discussions, flexible access, and quick assessments. Multiple means of engagement. To apply this principle, you are expected to recognize and accommodate individual differences to enhance students' engagement and motivation. Multiple means of action and expression. To apply this principle, you are expected to offer diverse assessment methods, encouraging verbal and written expression, incorporating hands-on activities, and using technology to allow students to demonstrate understanding in various ways. Teacher, you are requested to incorporate or apply these 3 principles into lesson planning and curriculum delivery in your classroom. Learner's readiness.
Learner's readiness, this is an entry point for the learners or students to be prepared for learning. And in the learner's readiness, we can apply one of the 3 principles of UDL. That is multiple means of engagement. In learners' engagement, we are going to apply different ways of engaging learners. For example, a teacher can use a song, a teacher can play a video, a teacher can tell a story, and so on.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Elbows back. Elbows back.
Introduction.
After learner's readiness, in UDL, we have introduction. In introduction, a teacher can apply multiple means of engagement by creating safe and supportive learning environment, which is going to motivate these learners or students to learn.
Here, there is a question for you, okay? Answer the following by counting and recording the number of boys and girls in your group. So, you formed groups, okay? So you have to count the girls you have in your group and you record, and you count the number of boys you have in your group and record. Have you counted, please? Okay.
In introduction, learners enter the lesson with the support of the teacher through demonstration, storytelling, role plays, video plays, chat display, and many more.
Compare the number of boys to the number of girls in your group. Ask the fraction of girls to the boys in your group. So what do you think we are going to learn today? Let me ask Axel. Ratios. Very good. Our lesson for today is about finding ratios. By the end of this lesson, we'll be able to find ratios.
Lesson development.
In the lesson development, this is where the real teaching and the real learning is taking place. In the real teaching and real learning, a teacher uses the two principles of UDL. These are multiple means of representation. Here, a teacher uses multiple means of representation. Maybe, for example, he can use a video to represent a content, can use a story, can use diagrams or images to represent a content. Because remember, behind all this, we are having an inclusive classroom.
Here we have goats and dogs. Okay? We are going to find a ratio. Okay? Before you answer, a ratio can be presented by using colons or by using the word 2. So you can say 3 to 5. The ratio of goats to goats, okay, is 3 to 5. And then there is also another way of presenting a ratio. 3, you can present a ratio as a fraction, okay? Then 3 over 5, okay? The goats are 3, and then the dogs are 5. Okay, here I have markers of different colors, okay? Of different colors. So I want to ask you the ratio of green markers to black markers to blue markers. Okay? Yeah, you answer. The ratio of green, blue, black. Green, blue, black. Okay? Yes. Come and present the ratio here. You count them and then present a ratio. 2. So 2 to 3 to 2. Very good. So here I have other objects.
In lesson development, we have another principle, UDL principle, which is multiple means of engagement. And this is where a teacher uses different styles, because we are having learners with different learning styles. For example, a teacher puts the students in groups and provides them with activities where these learners inclusively, they are going to be using multiple means of engagement. For example, one group can use hands-on activities or experiment. Another group can have playing video. Another group can have presenting images or charts. But all these focus on the same content. Why? We are having different students with different learning styles. Therefore, we need to apply different ways of engaging them so that the learning takes place at the same pace and the students are motivated in the learning.
Share the ideas, please. Maybe back, please. Yes, 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 yes.
During lesson development, you should promote collaboration, encourage creative expression through diverse communication methods, allow self-pacing, offer students a choice on how they respond, and use flexible tools and resources, both digital and printed, to accommodate different learning styles.
The importance of applying multiple means of representation and multiple means of engagement during lesson development is to help the teacher and the students themselves inclusively to learn perfectly at their learning pace.
First, find the total ratio. Okay? Total ratio is 10. So the fraction of books is 2 over 10. Okay? 2 over 10, then times the 90. You get the number of books. Then 3 divided by 10. Okay? That fraction then times the 90. Then you get the students with pens. Students with pencils, it is 5 over 10 times 90.
Assessment and conclusion.
After lesson development, we are now going to look at assessment. In assessment, students have already done the activities, and now the teacher needs to know how they have done the activities. What is their ideas? What is their findings? Students are going to use multiple means of action and expression, whereby a student can decide to use either by telling a story, by having an experiment being conducted, by presenting the real image of what he has learned. The student can also use a video or a project to express his or her ideas from the learning process.
In Chimirongo market, the ratio of beans, rice and maize is 4 to 6 to 8. If the weight of all the 3 items is 900 kilograms, find the weight of each item. So here, one of the answers is correct, okay? So you do it, and then you have to present your answers by using those bigger cards. Okay? If the answer is A or B or C, you show up the correct letter from those cards. Yeah, okay. Let me scan your answers, please. Let me scan your answers. Tuzuzo, Ineza, okay. Asimwe, okay.
During the assessment, teachers are expected to differentiate assessment difficulty. Use different assessment formats such as quizzes, projects, presentations. Then offer learners different options to demonstrate learning and incorporate real-world relevance and interactive assessments such as games or simulations to help maintain students' interest.
We have seen that a ratio is the way of comparing 2 or more numbers or quantities, okay? And a ratio has no units. And then the order of the numbers of a ratio is very, very important, okay? And then one of the numbers cannot be 0. Cannot be 0. So we can't have 0 to 4 or 0 to 0, that ratio, okay? So A here stands for any number. B stands for any number. Then A and B, one of them or both of them cannot be 0. You take this homework, do it from your home, and then I'll mark it in the next lesson. So the first question is saying that at Highland School, the ratio of desks to chairs to tables is 8 to 8 to 4. If the total number of all the 3 items is 200, find the number of each item. The second question, count the number of windows and doors at your home. So you have to count the number of doors and windows you have at your home. and express the number of windows to the number of doors as a ratio. So we have come to the end of our lesson. Thank you for your active participation. See you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.